I'm International Master Minh, who, well, should be one of the like most decent player, who is International Master in the world. Maybe I guess. So now I'm trying to play a game of 10 minutes. With white, I don't know. I mean, I will try to ask the viewers what do you want to see, with white or with black. But I will try my best to explain my thinking process. Trying to tell you, I mean, how to get better at chess, how to see some like typical pattern in the game, or simply, I mean, explain all the things I can. Feel free to ask question. Feel free to ask question along the game. Obviously, we can try to, like review the game after it finish. But obviously, I will try my best to ask questions along the games and give you guys time to think and recommend some moves. Sure? Well, I mean, like my favorite player is Aronian, which I have said many times earlier. Let's go. Start. Okay, I got some strong guys here. I mean, from Indonesia, maybe 1874. E4. Now, so what do you want to see? I mean, maybe 11 again, what I play a lot, or something in the mainstream, or C5 or something. Okay, Sicilian. Let's go Sicilian. Okay, for Matthew and for Wendy, sure. Knight f3. So now is the time I want to ask. What to do now? I mean, there are plenty of stuff. I can do my Ninja Witch, which is knight 6. For someone who want to watch my Ninja Witch, you can come to my profile and I got, some videos about that. I can try to play like d6 or like the, knight off, whatever it is as well. So now what do you want to see? Anything's good. Okay, so now I want to try to follow, I don't know, MVL's footsteps. Let's try a knight off. I can tell you how huge the theory can be and how hard it is to play everything correctly for black. No, he played this weird line. Actually, this line is considered to be pretty weird and not so strong for white. I forget the name of the opening, but this one is not something so, I mean, like, strong for him. Knight f6. So now here, I mean, he will try and defend this pawn first, I don't know. Let's see what he can do here. Yeah, Bowler, I think that Bowler, I think, I don't know. D3. Okay, guys. So now, I mean, you can have two different ways to develop your bishop on f8. Both is g6 and g7 is fine, and this one is fine as well. But normally when you see this move, bishop c4 here, this move here. So what I really recommend is to play e65. Not only we can like grab the center, but we can like force this bishop to get away, and also restrict this bishop. E6. Obviously, fianchetto the bishop to g7 is also pretty fine, but here, so this is just a bit, I think, easier to play for black. Bishop e7, a3, d5. Time push d5 right now. Especially now, takes here, and we don't need to worry about this one, right? Now, what white normally will do is that he will go like bishop a2, I think, and he will try to play knight c3 and bishop g5 to put pressure on this pawn. Castles. Yes, actually in the knight off, so there are like plenty of stuff. I mean, I cannot even tell you how many of those I can say that. Knight e5. But this move, I think he wants to activate his knight. Also, it seems to me that he wants to avoid to being pinned on this diagonal, which seems to be like an acceptable move. I'm gonna go rook e8. Get the rook to the open file. Let's move. I can try and play this one next. Kick this knight away. If I play this move, so he can take here. So I don't like that setup myself, but this should be fine. Bishop f4. This actually is a bad move. I mean, guys, a small question here. How can we put more pressure to this diagonal? The thing is that the bishop and the knight is in the same diagonal, and the knight on e5 is not that safe. This move is not that strong for sure. Bishop d6. Yes, it is. Not only we, put pressure on this diagonal, also now this knight is having some trouble. Rook e1. Keep going, guys. Now, how can we continuously put pressure on the diagonal? That actually will really make it harder to defend for white. Yes, queen c7 is correct. This is very hard for him to defend. I don't even know how can he do here. Basically now, this pin is being very annoying. The knight cannot run since the bishop here is hanging. The rook on e8 also was defended by this knight here, so you don't need to worry about all kinds of tricks. Knight g4, you got a way to win material. If my opponent don't play that in a game, I will show you that later. I think white still get a way here to get out of this mess, but don't know if my opponent can be able to find that in the game. I think that can still be a way to save his position. I don't know if he can find that. Well, if he play queen e2, which I think that will be high possibility he play that. I will try to ask later. But the thing is that by playing queen e2, white plan to defend this knight, but he also stay in the lane the rook. So simply like the move like knight c6 on d7, it seems so bad for him, right? f7. Okay, so now he want to get into a tricky part, but this is a wrong sacrifice, I'm pretty sure. Now let's play. How can you react against this? And what do you want to do here for black? He want to mess up the game, but now how can you simply refute against that? The thing here first is that right now, okay, what can we do here? Like if we go to this one, so we can take an e8, and this pawn d5 will become hanging. So it's best, obviously, to take on e1 first. But now it's the real question. Queen e1. Now it's the real question here. Just try to test your skills in tactics. Now, what pieces you can take? This one or this one? I will try to mention after the game, Saps. Don't worry. I think he can try and play something different, but I think I'm still better than. Yes, Sap, you're correct. Now if you play this move, why have this one, bishop d5? That will be slightly dangerous. Since if you take here, you got mate on e8, right? The knight on f6 actually is quite, I can say, like, overloaded. Defend both this and this. So although this one seems to be so understandable and logical, you need to play this move first. I will try to, reviewing the game again after it finish, and show you for the guy who cannot imagine and cannot visualize. And now simply we are up a piece, right? We are up a minor piece, and that is so easy for us. Let's see 3. Now simply we need to developing and try to convert this one into the win. This is not a bad move, But the thing is that now your king is in a pin, right? So the best way to play, I think, obviously, is trying to developing like this. A bit safe, but you know, like block the diagonal, and we can play knight c6 next. Now we don't need to worry about the diagonal anymore, right? And that will feel much safer. F3. I think you want to play like queen h4, but at the same time that is not so threatening. Knight c6. I mean, the thing is that, I mean, you know, when you play black against e4, when you play Sicilian, you need to accept that there are many lines. I mean, you need to accept that. But the thing I can tell you is that, like, it's not so easy for your opponent as well to play the correct move order. At least he's trying to fight. One of the top player? No! I'm not a top player. I'm not a top player. I was a shit player. Knight b5. He's taking our queen right now. Yes, I mean, it depends on your expectation and depends on your aim. I mean, simply for me, so I was so bad and I do not expect something so huge. But okay. Knight b5. Now what can the queen run is a good question. I mean, basically everyone is winning here. This should be the safest. This should be the safest. But at the same time I need to work the square as well. I want to play something a bit more active. I want to play queen f4. I don't know, I mean, actually recently I'm pretty bad. I really hope I can do better in the third Tuesday this evening, I guess. c3. Actually guys, c3 is very bad move by my opponent. He simply forget about a very important thing. Some of his pieces right now are being completely trapped. Can you tell me what is that? Somehow he forget that one of his pieces cannot even get back right now. Yes, a6. Suddenly the knight's like, goodbye. That's funny. He simply forget that this knight has been blocked himself. Okay, so I think let's be ready. Let's be ready for some questions after the game. I'm going to review that one really soon. On c7, you cannot go to c7. The queen is still defending c7 here as well. I mean, no worries. No worries. I am 25 right now. I am 25 right now. But I was stuck at 2900. Can get better. 34. Time to get active. This pawn's dropping here and the knight's so strong in the center, right? I can also play this move as well to win more material. Guys, I know that. Let's finish him. Let's finish him with a small and beautiful combination, guys. It's very easy. Go. I believe you can fight that. Let's finish him with a small piece of calculation and combination. Do that. Yeah, poor him. But sadly, I do expect him to play rook c1. I can say that. But whatever it is, he's still in serious trouble, even without this move. Okay, I mean right now, so knight e2, we want to play this one, right? But he can take the knight. So now queen c1. Queen c1 first. Luring the queen to c1 and go knight e2 next. And with the fork, we will make the queen and we win tons of material, right? Knight e2 and knight c1. Okay, so the final part is simply, yeah, he doesn't even bother defending his bishop anymore. I mean, okay, right now. I mean, right now is just very simple. He wanna flag me. He wanna flag me. But okay, now I just want to like winning. Simplest. You know, taking everything. Taking everything. Knight h5, okay. Knight f4 is fine, but I want to get his king in this corner and checkmate him right away. Rook, okay, no, I think d4 is fine, and rook e3. But now I think it's just like a matter of time before he resign. I mean, I can win this position with 7 seconds on the clock. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, actually, he doesn't play this bad, I can tell you. But the sad thing is that, yeah, I think he got messed up something in the opening. Okay, so, GG. I'm sorry. You look like a snake today? Really? I always wear this kind of t-shirt, so I don't really know. I mean, like earlier, a viewer told me that I looked like a banana earlier. Is that right? Hi, my friend. Hi. Okay. One more? Okay, fine, but yeah, one more is fine, but I need to review the game again. A few things I need to tell you as well. Okay, here, so let's go back to the game with the Indonesian guy. I obviously don't know how to pronounce his name. Yeah, normally you can need to practice a bit to see that pattern fast. But okay, I will try to like talk through things again. No worries, no worries. I mean, like, just really wish you enjoy the content. I mean, I know my chess is not so good recently, but I will try my best to make sure you guys can understand the theory and understand, you know, my explanation. And I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to do so. One moment. Actually, my voice seems to be a bit low here as well. One moment. Let me. Okay. Here should be fine, I guess. So now e4 c5, knight 3 d6. I mean, obviously the knight off is something really popular in the highest level of chess. It would, I think, you know, at the end after the opening, it will be very tricky one and very complex. And then, you know, simply you need to know a lot of theory to be able to play this one, I can say confidently. And let me tell you this one, d4 takes, knight 6, c3, a6, a6. Oh my gosh, and thank you for 1500 bits, trace objects. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Hopefully you enjoy the lessons. Okay, so here, I can tell you how many moves are available here right now for white. Let me try and count for you. I will draw the arrows, and let me show you. 1, 2 only, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually, both 13 move here is playable. Both 13 move here is playable, and there are some theory for that. I mean, like, and as a black player, you need to learn both of them. I mean, you need to have experiences in both of them, or at least understood the idea and how to set up your pieces. I can tell you that. You know, like, MVL has been playing the Night Off, I think for 20 years, but it's still suffering, right? Just to tell you how big this one can be. How big this one can be. H4 is a line, H4 is a variation. I can tell you that. here, so he played bishop c4. One game under this lecture. Okay, I mean it's fine as well if you really want to. So like, yeah, invite me like 10 minutes, but okay, I will try to find your account. c4 here, knife 6, d3. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier when in the game, whenever your opponent play like this kind of, I think Bowler, right? Bowler variation, like I think it would be sensible to play e6, which is what I play in the game. This is also fine with these ideas, but against this one, so e6 d5 should be the best way. Not only you can get the center, but also you can try to like kick this bishop away and making him, you know, kind of dumped, I can say. Castles, bishop e7. I play this one first, since like if you play d5, he can take here and open up the e5 for him. That's why I spend tempo to develop my bishop first. Bishop e7, a3, and now d5. Takes. Bishop e2, castling. Actually, knight e5 here is really bad. I think the best move here for him should be knight c3, and like if I play this one, he play bishop g5, I think, with the idea to put pressure on this pawn on d5. But I can simply play bishop e6 here, and then like pushing the pawn, queen d7, get the rook out, and I think black should be in a good shape. That should be a good shape. Knight e5. I mean, I know he want to get away from this pin, but the knight actually is undefended here. And you know, normally developing your pieces to somewhere hanging is a bit dangerous. Rook e8. Rook e8. Bishop f4. This is the ton of trouble for him. Bishop d6. And here is the part I want to say. Rook e1. I mean, you can see that right now he's getting attacked in this diagonal. Rook e1, queen c7, and now, actually now, it's a bit different, I can say. First of all, here at this point, d4 is still playable. d4 is still playable. Since if I take here, your queen d4, and his queen also provide the defense to the hanging bishop on f4, which is fine for him, I can say that. But rook e1 here and things is completely different. Since right now queen c7, d4, two takes, and queen e4 right now. Can you tell me where is different here? What is the difference between d4 earlier and d4 now? Look at all the pins. You can find the best move here. Yeah, this is more than enough. Nice is better. The thing is that this rook now is hanging. Since, you know, the queen has gone away. You cannot take on c6 right now, and simply by this move you are taking both the queen and the knight at e5, and you win material by force. You understand? Now you play this first. This is very wrong. This is why I can play here. You can play here, and I think all of his troubles disappear. You understand me? Also tricky, I understand your questions. Like here, right? If you play like d4 here, takes. This one, right? This one has c6. But now I can take here. This is the difference. This is the huge difference. I can say that. And now d4 bishop d8. And I don't think white is really, like worse at that position. I think you can still win the material. We will take this one and c2, but I think this should be slightly better for black only. Not something so critical or something so winning. In the game, so e1 here, c7. Actually, the move to defend here is not easy. It's knight c3. This is not fully easy here. And I think it will get a bit complex. Bit complex. Now, if you play bishop e5, and I got this move, that's when the match will become really more complex. I think so. I think he still loses. Like you play here, queen b6, but now take, and here. But I mean, like your king is pretty weak. That's what making it a bit different, I can say. Although black's still better, but now your king and g8 feels a bit weaker and more exposed. You understand? So, like I think this should be the best way to defend, but at the same time, it's not so easy to figure it out. So now, okay, knight 7 is wrong. Rook e1, king e1. Now, okay, so bishop a4 is apparently winning, but I don't like the midterst one. That's why. This will be becoming a bit more complex, and like when you're winning, so normally you need to try to like shy away from all of the complications. Take here is this like suddenly Smith, right? Suddenly Smith. Okay, fine. I mean, no worry. I mean, the best gift from me is that you can understand things. I mean, like I accept that. I mean, right now my subs number is like very consistent at like 500. So I'm fine as well. Just really wish you enjoy the content and like you understand the lessons. That's good enough. So here, I mean, bishop d5 will be a bit complex. That's why I simply play easier. King f7. King f7 here. Takes. Knight c3. So I mean, obviously knight c6 is fine here, but since the king is in the pin, right? That's why I simply play this move to make it easy. Block this pin, and I can try to develop later for sure. Right? f3. This is a bad move for him. I mean, he need to go for, I don't know, like get the rook out, maybe like queen e2, e1, I guess, if he want to have some chances. f3, bring your knight to the game. Knight b5, queen f4. I mean, you can go this one as well. Nothing's wrong with this, but I just want to get a bit more active. That's why queen f4, c3, and this is over. a6, g3. Okay, so in the game he played like c4, which is bad for him for sure. I just want to have a small question here. If you play g3 here, g3. Now, if you are black, where do you want to run your queen? Yes, that's my question here as well. Just go for the move you want and you think it's winning enough. Okay, let's go. So you finish. The thing here is that if you take an here, so he can go to c7, his knight can get out. Apparently you're still winning here. Like you play this one maybe, queen f2, takes and rook d8. This knight is still trapped. This knight is still being trapped. But obviously, I mean, like when this knight is already trapped, why do you let it away? Simply play queen b8. Seems to be a bit passive at first, but this knight is still dead. And when you are able to take this knight, you are simply 2 mana piece ahead. You understand? You control all of the escape squares here, and that's the way. And thanks for the tier 1 subs. Jacks, appreciate that. That's enough. So in the game, c4, takes d4. And okay, rook c1 is losing for sure. But whatever it is, he's still down 2 pieces here. So, I mean, he will losing eventually, right? But this just like accelerate the losing. Accelerate the loss. Okay, so now, I mean, just seeing things here. If we want to go knight 2, right? You see that now the knight can fork this to body and g1 and c1. But the queen is worrying that. The queen also need to work c1 as well, right? So the queen is overloaded. Knight 2 obviously is nice, since you can simply win material then by force. But queen c1 is much better, especially when you go to endgame, so you don't need to worry about like being flagged or something, you know, like getting killed at the end. Yes. Taking knight 2, and that's it, right? Okay, so first of all, any question about the game? Any question about the game? I will try to explain first. I don't know if I get time to move to another game, but okay, I will try my best. I need to go in around 15 to 20 minutes, I think. But okay, guys, any question here? Okay, sure, Jax. I think that's fine as well. I think I will play you. Sure, I will play you. Okay, I need to go really soon, so okay, if no one is asking. So, okay, first of all, hopefully you enjoy the lessons, and nice.